Okay, welcome to Raising Our Voices. It's a very good show and all the people should listen to it. It's a great theme and it's all about football. And I think everyone should have a good listen and I hope they do well. I'm John and you're going to hear a lot of guests from now on about football and it's really good. And I hope everyone's happy and have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
I'm here with Susan. Hi, Susan.
Hello.
Now, we're talking about football and inclusion of people with disabilities. If there was one thing that you could say, Susan, about inclusion of people with disabilities in the footy as fans, what would it be?
I say get all football stadiums or like the Melbourne Cricket Ground wheelchair accessible fully.
Now, I would have thought they were fully. Are you telling me they're not?
No, they're not. Not even Etihad, which is newly built, is not fully wheelchair accessible.
So there are parts of the ground you can't get to, is that it?
Yeah, I think you can if you go on a tour. They can take you around the back, but you can't get down to where the cheer squad sit for each team.
So that means you can't be a member of the cheer squad and participate when they're cheering?
Well, you can, but you've got to sit right at the back behind all the drunks, so you really... you're wasting that money that you paid on the cheer squad because you're not in the cheer squad. I mean, you can pay for it if you like, but you're not in it because you're way back up almost where the public are getting to sit. So you can be a member, you can sit in the member stand, but you don't get much for your money if you ask me.
Wow, that's really amazing. I hadn't realised that. So you can go along and you can sit in the wheelchair spots at the back, but you can't really participate.
Yeah, you can go along and you get to sit almost right at the back or as far down as you can get, but it's still not in wheelchairs, like into the cheer squads, so yeah.
And was there ever a time when you could get down there? I know your disability's changed over the years.
Yeah, I used to be able to get down there and I used to go every week. Hail, rain or shine, and I thought I was mad, but I had mad people who went for the team with me, so I guess when it was pouring rain and your team was losing it was good to look at. I'm not the only one who's here.
So that must be a real loss for you not to be able to be part of that now.
Yeah, I think, though, because also right at the back there, with both Etihad and the MCG, although Etihad seems worse, you feel the cold draft a lot more than what you would if you're able to get up and jump around like you used to. So I think I can watch it on telly just as cheaply and just as warmly and you still get to see the action, if not a bit better than what you can from right at the back as well. So
not the same environment and not the same sort of... it's the feeling of the crowd and the whole experience, isn't it? The atmosphere.
Yeah, it's the whole atmosphere and you get to make friends and you get to know people who go for your own team and you get to make new friends. And, I knew another guy who was in a wheelchair and it really touched me one day, the cheer squad. He really wanted to get down there because the team was winning by a lot and you could see they were going to win. So a few strong men from the cheer squad actually lifted him in his wheelchair up and got him down there, and I was just like, that's dedication, because they all knew him, so they said that he shouldn't be up there, he should be down there, and he was chuffed to be part of the cheer squad, which he was saying for and couldn't get in there, so...
Wow, well, that's really great support they showed him, but I think, maybe the AFL needs to show some support, eh?
Yeah, and I think maybe they need to say, if that was rant, they wouldn't have needed to pick the wheelchair and the guy up and carry the whole lot down there if it was fully rant, and I guess I just don't understand or see the reasons why there needs to be steps there anyway.
And finally, who are you going for in 2017?
Melbourne Demons.
Go Demons. Thanks, Susan.
Thank you.
It's a grand old flag, it's a high-flying flag, it's the emblem for me and for you. It's the emblem of the team we sing this song to you. Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the red and the blue.
Welcome back to Raising Our Voices and our special show about football. And today we also have an interview with someone who's a companion of a person with a disability who attends pretty much all the Victorian games and even some interstate. So welcome, Pam.
Thank you.
So you go to the football with Kelly, is that right?
Yes, I do.
And you were telling me before that there's a system in place called the companion card. And how does that work with the football? Can you just explain that a bit?
Well, Kelly's a Hawthorn Football Club member, and my membership to the football club is covered by the companion card, so my membership is free. And also some of the games, well, some of the grand finals recently, I've been able to have a free ticket to the grand final as well, to be her companion, to attend with her.
That's a fantastic inclusive sort of action, a very, very practical one that's going to help a lot of people, I'd imagine. Do you know if many people use that?
Yeah, I do. There's a number of people I know who are in wheelchairs who use that, and a different family member goes to the football with them on a regular basis. Some of the other members of the cheer squad, which is Kelly's a member of, also have family members bring them at different times. And yeah, it's very economical, you know, it's not over the top cost-wise to be a member of the cheer squad either. And the fact that the membership for the companion is free makes it more accessible to the cheer squad membership, especially for people who are living on pensions, or my daughter's on a disability support pension, so yeah, she needs to save money where possible.
And the cheer squad has got a cost attached to it, but obviously it's a good fun thing to do.
Yeah, and the cost also comes with benefits, like as part of the cheer squad we always get something. So one year we might get a t-shirt, another year we might get a jacket, or yeah, just different things that are useful to take to the footy.
And the seating is always behind the goalpost with cheer squad, so good.
Yes, so always on the ground level, which is good for Kelly because of her vertigo and other issues around her hearing problems. And usually we're allocated a seat on the aisle, which is easier for her as well.
And just in terms of inclusion within the cheer squad, have they been very welcoming of Kelly's involvement?
Oh, for sure, yeah. She has a number of friends made over the years that we've been in the cheer squad who are very close and very close family friends now. We see them quite often. They come to her parties. Yeah, so it's more than just footy now. They're footy friends, but we see them a lot.
Now, I believe that you go to most Victorian games and even a Tasmanian game every year, is that right?
Yes, yeah. We, unless there's a wedding, and only if it was my daughter's wedding would we not go. And she's already married, so that's not going to happen. Yeah, no, we go to all of the games, and most of our family members, if they're having a party or anything, they make sure that we're not playing footy because, I mean, it's okay if we're not playing in Sydney, in Victoria, and usually I book one game in Launceston a year, so we always tell them in advance when we're going, so they know.
That's a commitment and a half. Now, what about all these different grounds? You must see a lot of the grounds then. Are they all very accessible, or are some better than others? What's your view?
Well, I've never liked Docklands Stadium. It seems to be more crowded. It's more difficult to get in. Their staff are not as good as the MCG staff. They're not as well trained disability specific type things. I've always found it much easier to go to the MCG, and if there's any problems, I can always talk to staff, and they're always very happy to help. When Kelly needed the ambulance service, they were immediate in finding somebody and having her looked after. It was fabulous. The same thing at Etihad. I've ended up taking her home and organising medical care at home. It's just different, I think. The fact too that at Docklands the roof can be closed and people smoke outside the grounds and the smoke comes into the ground, and if you're suffering from asthma or have eye problems like Kelly does, it causes quite difficult medical conditions. And yeah, so I don't find it as pleasant a ground, and I'm glad we don't play there very often.
Well, I'm surprised because it's probably the newest ground in the league. There must be a lot of older grounds. Are they better, are you saying?
Well, the MCG has been upgraded recently, and of course it's much better. I mean, the Southern Stand even is fabulous, and I've never ever had a problem at the MCG with any kind finding medical attention, finding earplugs. When Kelly got lost because we were at an event after the grand final in an area that she didn't know, I asked for help from staff and the police, and it might have been 10 minutes, but she was found. They brought her back to me. They were so lovely to her. She wasn't stressed about it. It was very easy. Everybody around me were panicking about it, but she managed to get back. She wasn't stressed. They were lovely to her, and it was really because she was in an unfamiliar place. We never sit in the AFL members, so we were there for the concert after the grand final. So, yeah, she possibly should have stayed with us, but didn't.
Very special day when your team wins the grand final. She may have been a bit excited.
She was. yeah, for sure.
Do you get down to Geelong or some of the other outer clubs?
No. Usually if Geelong and Hawthorn are playing, it's at the MCG or at Etihad. So I've not been down there, not since I was a teenager. So.
Okay, so overall, it sounds like it's been a very positive, inclusive sort of experience for you. You keep going back, obviously.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And Kelly loves the football. It's part of her life. And it's a really big part of her life. She misses it when it's not on. She's not really a cricket person. So, yeah, she used to love being in the footy tipping and doing a whole lot of other stuff. So, yeah, footy really does rule her life a lot. Yeah, so she enjoys it.
And she's been able to be involved, which is...
Yeah, from really early on too. Our family, pretty much I had uncles playing footy and cricket when I was a baby pretty much, and I went along to watch them all of their careers, so it was bred in me. And as soon as I was able to, after I had children, I wanted to start going back, and it was good that I was able to take the kids without any problems.
Okay, just overall, and thinking particularly maybe of when they were kids, was there any time, or do you think that the sort of junior football perhaps wasn't as accessible or could be more accessible? I'm thinking things like Auskick and other sort of junior ways that kids can get involved in the actual game rather than watching.
Yeah, well, both my girls would have loved to be in the Auskick, but back then when they were kids it wasn't really possible. I really think it's great that they are now. I'm a bit concerned maybe that some Auskickers groups are set up especially for people with disability, instead of in being involved, those people being involved in everybody's Auskick and just being treated the same as everybody else. That would be my preference, that whatever league you're in, whether at Auskick or your local footy club, that whether you had a disability or not, you could participate and be as welcomed as everybody else.
Any other final tips or suggestions for making footy more accessible? Or maybe what's the score out of 10?
Well, I'm not so sure about people in wheelchairs. I do have a couple of friends in wheelchairs who do go to the footy, and I know their perspective, and I know that they're very happy about access and, you know, the ease of train stations to grounds, and where they sit is undercover, protected, and they're very happy with that. But I sort of don't have the same experience because Callie's more able, you know, physically. She has some sensory disabilities as well as an intellectual disability, but I think from her point of view, she hasn't had a lot of problems, and if she has had a problem at the footy, we've been able to fix it just by accessing the staff or the ambulance people, and they've always been really good.
All right then. So any tips for who's winning 2017 AFL? Of course, it wouldn't be Hawthorn, would it?
Well, I'd hope so, but I'm not sure. We have lost a few players, and who knows with what the changes in all of the teams, what happens next year. But, you know, I can always hope.
You've had your turn.
Oh, yes, but we didn't have a turn this year, so next year would be good.
Thank you, Pam.
Our club and we play to win, riding the bumps with a grin at Hawthorn. Come what may, you'll find us striving. Teamwork is the thing that talks. One for all and all for one, the way we play at Hawthorn. We are the mighty, mighty Hawks.
Hello, and you're listening to Raising Our Voices. Reese here.
Welcome back to Raising Our Voices, and we're talking to John. Hi, John.
Hello, Pauline. And how have you been?
Oh, really good, thank you.
Very nice, yes.
Now, today's show's about the football, and I believe that you're a fan of Collingwood, is it?
Yes, one-eyed.
One-
Good team. Yes.
Yeah, but were you always a fan of Collingwood?
No, I used to vote for Hawthorn, but I changed to Collingwood, and they're a good team, and they've got a good president, Eddie Maguire, and Nathan Buckley, and the captains, Collingwood's he wears number 5, Pendlebury.
Oh, Pendlebury, yeah. So Collingwood's obviously famous for having a lot of fans.
Yeah, they've got about 80,000, 82,000, and they get a lot of supporters, and it's been really good.
So you go quite a bit?
Yes, not last year, but the year before I went to about 23 games, but this year I went to about 6 because I follow a local team and help them out with barbecues and things like that. So yeah.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know you did that. So what's the local team that you help out?
Bentley Football Club, and they're a good team.
So you do some voluntary work with them?
Yes, I do barbecues and help put the signs out, and then I take all the glasses and put all the cans of beers in the bin.
Oh, yeah, that's important. So have you been doing that very long, or is this the first year?
This is the first year. Last year was the first year, and our team got done by 107 points. So
That's a shame. Was that in the grand final?
yes, yeah, 107 points by Dingley. They beat us.
But you made it to the grand final.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Well, so that's a bit new. So you've been a fan of AFL for a long while, but now you're actually helping with local footy.
Football, yeah. I do barbecue, do the breakfast for the under-19s, and I do the sausages and that for the seniors and reserves. And about 1 o'clock, someone else takes over, and then I just relax and watch the football.
Wow, that's great. So you're obviously a really important part of the local footy now.
Yep, I help out and they enjoy myself, and I've got a membership for it and go to most of the games and away games too.
So do you think you'll keep going to AFL, or it's going to be a bit half and half, or you're going to stick to...
Half and half.
So what do you like about going to the footy?
Seeing Collingwood play, seeing some friends and supporters and just having a good time, and if they win, they win. If they lose, well then, better luck next time.
And so you know a few people that you go with or see there regularly?
Roger, and I've got a few other friends, Peter Pendergast and a lot of other people, yeah.
And do you see the same faces week in, week out? You get to know them?
Yes, I do.
That's a real community, isn't it?
Yep, just seeing the people and talking to people, and I also sometimes go to the VFL and watch them, and I see some friends there, so it's really good.
So as a guy who's got a disability, do you find the footy includes people with disabilities?
Yes, because I've seen some people in wheelchairs and people like that, so yeah.
Have you ever felt like you had an issue that you weren't included?
No, not really. I sort of go to football and I just, enjoy myself and, things like that. So, yeah, no, I don't really get that. So, yeah.
And the local footy's obviously including you in a big way now.
Yeah. Like helping them out, and they like me, and they sort of talk to me and, get me and cheer me on and that, and yeah.
What's the name of the local?
Bentley Football Club.
So go Bentley next year?
Go Bentley and go Collingwood. Yeah, go Bentley.
What are they called? What's their,
They're a bit like Melbourne Demons. They're called Bentley Demons, and they sing the song, and it's quite a good song.
So go Bentley Demons 2017. What about the Pies?
Go Collingwood in 2017. They picked up some good players, though, like some players from North Melbourne, and also some players from Fremantle, Maynard, and a guy called Lyndall from Melbourne. We picked up, so they've got a few players there.
So they might go well this year. All right. Well, thank you, John. I'm glad to hear that you've been involved in footy in so many different ways. Did you ever have a kick of the ball yourself?
Yeah, when I was young, we played inter-district football with the disability teams and in Mitcham, and we played well, and I enjoyed that. So it was really good.
All right. Well, thanks again, John.
That's it. Thank you. And you're very good. I hope 3CR goes well, and it's a good station. Thank you.
Thank you. Raising Our Voices is
Raising Our Voices is a very good station.
Thanks, John. Okay, and we've also got Luke here today. Luke, I believe that you're a bit of a footy fan. Now, who do you follow?
Security.
The Saints.
Yes.
When the Saints go marching in, oh, when the Saints go marching in, oh, how I want to be with St Kilda.
Do you go much to the footy at the moment?
Yes. I go to the football with my friend Rickside, and he picked me up from home and dropped me to MCG to go in upstairs and into the commentary box with him.
Wow. So you go into the commentary box with Rex Hunt?
Yes.
Well, that must be pretty special. How many times have you done that?
Probably about 2 times this year.
2 times this year. Hold on a sec. So that's amazing. You go to the MCG, any other grounds?
At the stadium.
And how do you find them? Are they easy to get around? Too many stairs, or how do you manage?
By the lift and MCG, and also at the stadium.
Okay, so that's good. When you're going up in the lift, it's pretty accessible. Have you sat out in the stands?
Yes.
And how's that? Easy to get around, or?
Difficult.
Okay, a bit more difficult because?
Because my people could push me.
Okay, it's a bit more crowded and you could get bumped. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Have you been? Have you managed, or have you had a bit of squashiness at times?
A bit of Scottish at times. Most of the times it'd be okay.
And do you find it's more crowded at one of them, MCG, or is it easier to get around there, or is Etihad the one that's more crowded? What do you find?
Both.
Okay, so you go with a friend or with a carer, is it?
Yes.
And how does that work? Is that good?
Good.
And you prefer the commentary box, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Because I get more food fun. Yeah.
Free food thrown in and drinks. Well, thanks. What do you think? Anything that needs to be improved about access for people with disability at the grounds? Have you noticed anything you think they need to change?
At the moment, Travel's Aid also going to see if Travel's Aid talked to me about getting people more accessible for getting my MCG, and it had based on that my MCG going to be the first thing, and also for my tennis center could be a special baggage service for people with disabled people.
Okay, so Traveller's Aid, that service is going to do some work to make the MCG more accessible and possibly the tennis centres.
Yes.
And you go to the tennis?
Yes.
Well, that sounds like a good idea. So they're working on that now, are they?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, we knew we were onto something.
Yeah. Yeah. We were.
All right, thanks again for all your input.
And I'm going to ask me to be the guinea pig.
So Travellers Aid are going to have you as a guinea pig for access at the MCG?
Yes.
Well, you must get back to us and let us know what you discover and what things need to be fixed.
Yes. It will be very interesting.
And 2017 is going to be the year of the dog again, isn't it?
No. 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 2017 will be the year of security.
I hope so. Thank you, Luke.
Bye-bye.
Suns on the west, red, white, and blue. We come out smiling, bulldogs through and through. Bulldogs bite and bulldogs roar. We give our very best, 'cause you can't beat the boys of the bulldog breed. We're the team of the mighty West.
Hello, I'm hoping you enjoyed listening to our radio station 3CR, and tune in next time. I hope you have a good time, and thank you. Tune in to Raising Our Voices next time. It's a very good station.